Ontario's austerity budget includes allowing tuition increases as well as cutting 9 scholarship, grant, and bursary programs. How will this affect post-secondary students in Ontario?
So tuition fees in Ontario have actually been increasing since 2006, and we're at a point now where we've seen increases of up to 71% as of this year. The government has refused to look at the funding framework to decide whether we should freeze tuition fees instead of continue to increase them. And on top of that, has cut a number of bursary and scholarship programs that were directed at low-income students, and instead used this money to put towards the Ontario Tuition Grant, which folks might have heard as the 30% off. Unfortunately, this grant does not target low-income students, and in fact only targets about 20% of students. We've seen that this grant program actually has not reached the students that it should, and instead should actually be applied to a complete tuition fee reduction across the board.
Glenn Murray suggested structural changes to post-secondary education in Ontario over the next few years. Could these changes affect the quality of post-secondary education students in Ontario receive?
Definitely. The changes that are being proposed right now by the government are very concerning to students for many reasons. The most significant concern that I have really is this attempt to separate the funding framework from quality and tuition fees from accessibility. You can't do that. And unfortunately, within this proposal, the government's trying to do precisely that. They don't want to have a conversation about the funding framework or about tuition fees. They want to have a conversation about how to make our institutions more efficient and how to move forward with an education system that is much different than the one that we currently have and the one that we should have. And so students are concerned with many of these changes, especially things like an idea of moving to more online courses. This is really concerning and I think has obvious impacts on the quality of our education. So we really need to be pushing back on whether, on the issue of tuition fees, on the issue of accessibility and of quality.